born and raised underground had never seen the sky or smelled fresh air. Gio and Crystal are sensitive children.
Crystal, have you ever tried to imagine what was left on the surface?
Sometimes I do, but it's so hard to imagine. I give up after a while.
Take the idea of daylight, for example. It is so weird. All people went to sleep at night when the sun was down. They got up in the morning when the sun was up. It's funny that most people all went to sleep at about the same time. It must have been quiet at night.
It's certainly different now. There's not enough space to have everybody up walking around all at the same time. We all have to sleep in shifts.
And one day might be different from another day. Some days it's cloudy and windy, and the other days it's hot and still. But the temperature down here is still the same.
It's nice and cool down here. In some ways, we might be lucky. I'm not sure I'd like all those extreme changes. Have you ever heard of that thing called snow?
Yeah, but it must have been nice to be on the beach on a sunny day and to feel the warmth of the sunlight on your face. But the thing I'm most curious about is the food. I heard it came right out of the dirt.
Honestly, Gio, you should stop thinking about it. What good is it? I don't like to torture myself thinking about the things I'll never be able to experience.
But maybe there's still plants, trees, sunny days and starry nights. And maybe one day we'll be able to go back up again in the surface.
I'm afraid not, Gio. Everything was scorched by the radiation of the sun. The ozone layer was depleted and Earth was unprotected. If you were to go back to the surface, assuming there was a way which there isn't, you could find nothing but ashes and dust.
But surely there must be somebody who knows about the surface. I'd like to at least know about it.
Do you know the old one at the edge of the dome?
The white-haired guy?
That's the one. His name is Feldspar. You could go talk to him, and if you do, keep it to yourself. I'm tired of hearing things about the surface. Gio went to talk to Feldspar. The old man was eager to share his memories of life on the surface. They sat and talked while sharing food wafers.
Thanks, old man.
For the food wafers? Where do I problem? You know, back on the surface, food had real texture. It wasn't all just wafers. Watermelon, for example, which is one of my favorites, was cold and juicy. The inside was red with roasted black seeds. So delicious, I just want to eat it every day.
Is it true the food came right out of the dirt?
In a way of speaking, yeah. I mean, plants grew from the ground, and then those plants bore fruit.
What did the plant look like?
There are many different kinds. Some are smaller than your hand. Bigger plants that were called trees were taller than the central dome.
Wow!
I still have a flower that I grabbed right before I came underground. I've been saving it for all these years between two metal info discs. Here, let me show you.
Feldspar pulled two metal plates from a shelf built into rocky ledge. He carefully laid them on a stone table and left the top plate. A flattened marigold lay the bottom plate, faded and dry, but is still golden. In his excitement, Gio tried to lift the flower, but it crumbled into dust.
Feldspar! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to ruin it!
It's alright, Gio. Things aren't meant to last forever, but I'm glad I got to share that marigold with you.
Feldspar, I want to go to the surface and feel the wind and smell flowers.
That will be very dangerous, Gio. I wouldn't recommend it.
But there's a way, right?
Yes, there is, but don't ask me about it.
Feldspar, please! I just got to know it. Please, you just got to tell me.
There is a secret tunnel you must know. Hardly anybody else knows about it. A few people have left there over the years and none of them have came back. They probably didn't survive.
But maybe they did and didn't want to come back.
I'll try myself, but in my old age, I don't think I can do that.
Then let me try for you.
You really mean it, don't you?
I'll never be more serious.
Alright then. I can tell you have a real desire to know the truth. Go to the reservoir. It's fed by an underground stream. Jump on the edge by the rock wall and then swim through the underwater tunnel. Just follow the direction of the higher ground. Then eventually, you come to an iron ladder that will take you up to the surface. Good luck, Gio. Godspeed.
He got a waterproof flashlight and rubbed some food wafers in a watertight bag. The only problem was pressing a guard at the reservoir. of a girl his age.
Who are you?
My name is Jade. Welcome to the surface.
You mean people are still alive on the surface?
Lenny, here, take my hand and come up.
Wow! I know what this is. It's called marigold, right?
That's right. There's a whole field of marigolds nearby.
Those must be trees. Clouds and birds. How can this be all possible?
After the ozone disaster, everybody went underground. Most everybody, that is. The poorest of the poor had to perch on the surface. Many did die. It was horrible. But over time, Earth began to heal itself.
How can that be possible?
There was no more pollution. Nature at last had a break from the constant pouring of toxins. Over time, poisons in the ground disintegrated. Smog eventually cleared. The hole in the ozone shrank and shrank until finally the atmosphere was sealed once again. Nature was allowed to thrive.
I still don't get it. How can people live without technology? Without science?
Our lives are much simpler now. We have found that it is possible to live without all of that. We live in harmony and balance with nature.
The underground think of what may happen if they did.
Geolog and Jade ended a tunnel leading back to the underground. Touching the marigold, he made up his mind. He knew in his heart just what he should do. The end.